Hi, thank you for joining us. Tonight is our premiere of Our Flight Through Lockdown, and I am very, very excited. Thank you so much to Arts Council England for funding this film and for giving artists like me a chance to try something different. It has been an absolute whirlwind of experience, joy, connection. And while I'm giving thanks, I must also give a massive thank you to 101 Outdoor Arts Creation and Circa Media, who both saved us when there was nowhere safe to film. So again, massive thank you to you. Your support is priceless. Tonight's film has a special dedication attached to it. Tonight's film is dedicated to Parapride and their community. They help me to accept and celebrate my authentic self, which has not only given me inner strength, but gave me the confidence to explore my potential further, which has led us to here. We hope to raise awareness that we're all connected, regardless of race, sexuality, nationality, disability, ability, age, and all that's in between. We are all affected the same. We must keep hope in each other. Pride in everyone. Now, we're going to watch this film. If anybody would like to leave any messages in the chat, our team, our crew, our artists, our whole lockdown family is right there to answer your questions. Enjoy!
This was a wake-up call, and I think for everyone.
I miss people, I miss faces.
Pretty much, I would say 90% of our work has gone.
Every agent, every performer I've ever known in my industry was going crazy on social media. Help, what do I do?
Crazy things are just happening in my life now. Why wouldn't the rest of the world just go crazy as well?
People were saying that it just couldn't get any worse.
Imagine if all of our lives, every bit of joy we got was through the validity of what a capitalist structure that ultimately makes us all miserable.
We're not going to be beaten. We have to stand up. We have to re-educate ourselves.
Hi Ellie, great to see you. How have you been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, keeping on.
It's hard, isn't it?
Well, it's been such a big learning curve for me this year, just learning just everything, having to go online and having to deal with webcams and speakers and Bluetooth headphones and Zoom and everything that I needed to do to make my job still work in an online format. It's been, such a massive learning curve.
Yes, it has. I've got some really good news. There's lots I want to catch up with you about anyway, because I've really, really missed you. But I got some funding from Arts Council England, and they are trusting me to make a film, which is not.
Wow. Okay.
But I thought it might be good because I really want to learn something. So I was wondering if you'd be interested on teaching me and a couple of my friends some hula hooping skills.
Yeah, I can definitely do hula hoop. I can teach you guys. I've already been running some online classes, so I've kind of got my setup in my living room. So yeah, that sounds great. It'd be good to do something.
Fantastic, yay. All right, lovely. Speak to you
Right.
soon. Bye.
My name is Ariel Mel Stevens, adapted for myself as the Queer Crip. I am a black artist. I am physically disabled. I am deaf. they, them, not a she. I am a black artist. I am a black artist. Deaf. I am deaf. Parts of 2020, it killed part of me, and I've had to mourn that part. For artists like myself, arts is a way of healing and communicating that healing, and without that outlet to heal, it's really scary of what this damage and this pain will do if it's just left to manifest and explode at some later point. And I don't think we can help educate people on our pain if we don't have a medium to express through arts. The scariest thing about this pandemic is the lack of physical contact and the clear physical barriers we all have just to be in a space together, whether it be cleaning our hands, wearing masks, keeping space between each other. It's a real pain, not just a physical pain and an inconvenience, but a pain of love and connection that we need to have with each other. And we are all connected, we cry the same, and I think to put that into art and with the LED disco and creating the light, because with every pain there's light, with every rainbow comes from, you know, grey skies and storms, and I think that's what we really have to show is the light and the vibrance that comes out. And for me, my light and vibrance and joy came from meeting the artists who have healed me in 2020.
Hi, my name's Mel.
Hello, my name is Joanna. Nice to meet you all.
And you too.
Yeah, I'm quite excited. I've never done this before, so I don't know how this is going to be. For me, this was a wake-up call, and I think for everyone was a wake-up call, this pandemic, but also the Black Lives Matter protests.
The biggest gathering London has seen in weeks, and one of the most passionate.
It was like a tipping point for me because I've never expressed my opinions on things. I never wanted to make a scene. I never wanted to be in the center of attention unless I was on stage. I never wanted to raise my voice. And I realized that Joanna Dias cannot be just that, cannot just made me feel like I first need to understand my identity and then question other, parts of other people, because unless you know your story, you cannot, in my line of thought, you cannot be yourself completely. I think love needs to make me move forwards, and it needs to be always there, but also there are moments that I need to have a voice and I need to take action.
So, as well as the online lessons, we've had the brilliant idea about doing some outdoor events in various places like parks and schools and just anywhere outside, and the hula hoop is going to help us keep space, and hands we'll keep clean with lots of sanitizer, and obviously we'll wear masks to keep ourselves safe. But I do think we're going to need a plan B and possibly a C, D, E, F, G. Who knows? Stay tuned.
Hello. So I'm about to teach my second online hula hoop class, and I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, I'm excited about it. The first one I was just really nervous because I didn't know what to expect really, but it was all right. I think it all went fairly smoothly, and I think everyone enjoyed it, so that's given me a bit more confidence going into this week with the setup and everything. To get people up, get them moving is good, you know, it's good for physical health and mental health. Get the blood flowing, still do things with other people. Yeah.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey. I've seen you for so long. How are you?
I'm good. I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, very good. It must have been almost a year since I saw you last.
Oh, it's been forever. Weird to be online and rather than in real life. Well, I guess people were saying that it just couldn't get any worse. So we had COVID in 2020 and then we got Brexit in 2021. So, I mean...
52% of the votes choosing to leave the 28-member European Union. Immigration was at the forefront of the Leave campaign for Britain to take control of its borders and its economy, national identity and culture. Make no mistake, this referendum is huge. This result to Leave is monumentous, a political earthquake with the financial ramifications uncertain.
Brexit brings about a lot of other questions and fears in terms of ethno-nationalism and fear of racism and just, I guess, acceptance of people from other cultures. It allowed a big opening for, I guess, bigotry to run loose in terms of who's allowed in the country, who's allowed to work and who's not. For me personally, my discipline has a massive impact on my mental health, a positive impact. It allows me to release or to express things that I'm feeling. So that's really, really important for me. And I guess for most people working within the creativity and arts industry. And I guess working as a self-employed artist, the idea of stopping and starting work is really hard. It's actually devastating. because we are already living in an environment that is not friendly for us in the current society. Take COVID away, being an artist is difficult as it is. We are living within the cracks of capitalistic society, and yeah, so I think this has been a hard hit.
It's just as we feared. We're going into our second lockdown, although it's not official yet, but we are going into tier 3, so it's plan B. We're going to have to cancel all of our outside socially distanced LED hoop discos and go to plan B. Everything's going to have to go online. Anything I do with the other artists, we're just going to have to make sure that we self-isolate properly before we can get together. You know, increase sanitation, masks, spray, space, everything that we're being told already. And the bonus is that we do have 101 Outdoor Arts, which is a space I know really, really well. It's a great big aeroplane hangar, and I think with just a handful of us, we should be able to socially distance there safely enough.
We're going into lockdown number 2, and I'm amazed at how normal it feels. It shouldn't feel normal, but it does. We've done it before. All the online stuff is already set up in terms of classes, so I'm just converting back to that, but that's already set up, it's already figured out. Yeah, I don't know, it's like the first time round, it was all new, it was all terrifying. I was terrified to just leave the house. The first time I went to a supermarket, I was terrified and I didn't know what was gonna happen. But it's amazing how adaptable we are and how you just get used to things, and yeah, it shouldn't feel this normal to just be going back into lockdown. Well, I was in a pretty weird place anyway at the start of 2020 because I got ill the year before. I had a stroke in July 2019, so I was still kind of in the recovery process of that, and I wasn't working very much. My entire world had just stopped really abruptly. And I was just starting to come out of that, potentially just starting to start training again and that kind of thing. And then this happened. So it almost felt like, you know, crazy things are just happening in my life now. Why wouldn't the rest of the world just go crazy as well? It really sort of takes it down to what's actually important, which is, you know, your health and your friends and family. I think I've been fairly lucky in terms that I have been able to run some online classes, I've been able to keep some stuff going. Yeah, I think in this time when we're really, well, we're physically separated, it's really easy to get too insular in your house and you're confined and you feel like you can't see your friends and you can't communicate with people. But thank God we've got technology and we can see each other in video chats and online. Doing the online classes, it gave me some structure to my week. It gave me a reason to get up and do something. And you're still getting to see other people. You're still getting that social element. It's my whole life. I don't know what else I'd do. I've never done anything else apart from circus. I've never had a real job.
This lockdown has found so many communities that I wouldn't have even known existed, let alone found lifelong allies within. So, we're so blessed, aren't we? Okay, let me get my hoop.
You do some hooping.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today we're off to 101 Outdoor Arts in Thatcham. I'm very excited to be bringing my ladies to what was the women's camp and to do something nice and celebratory. The space is always being transformed. All of the arts money goes into what the artists who use the space need and require, so it's constantly evolving. And having not been there for the last year, it's really important we see how much space we have, what space we can use, and how much has changed. Morning, ladies. Good morning, people. It's all about accessibility, isn't it? It's so nice to see it alive with art and colour. It was kind of sad to think of the pandemic and nothing happening, but to see that things are still happening is very exciting. The reason I went for an LED disco was mainly because we need some light in all of this darkness, and that's exactly how, even though we had the summer months and people were saying how lovely and bright and sunny it was, I really wasn't feeling it, and I needed to add light to the sadness. And with the hula hoops, it's that circle, that sense of connection, that sense of, you know, it doesn't end, it just continuously goes around like the earth, like, you know, the symbol of a wedding ring. We're all connected, no matter where we are in the world, whether we're in London, Bristol, America. The world suddenly felt so much smaller. Everyone was just at the end of a Zoom call or a Teams meeting.
Yeah, if you could do the video, but maybe run through it 3 times back to back, because when there's spaces and timings that I can't do, I'll be able to create something that fits in those timings.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have another hoop that is smaller?
Yes, I've got a few of them. You can manage. Just be like a circus artist carrying them, you know.
I am taking part in a poetry thing later on, so I'm going to have to run away.
Have fun.
Drop into here. This moment, this time. Pause. Relax. Recline. Visit that shelf of yourself that you've been neglecting. You know the one. Collecting dust. Connect. You're one of us. Glide to the between space in this forced pause of a rat race and know that everything you're doing, everything that you have done up to this moment of undoing is fine. Has led you right here. Welcome. Unwind, slip, slide into the oil slick bath of belonging. Twizzle the nozzles till you've got it just right. Let the bubbles hold you fast, reflecting images of your past, not in judgment, just gentle nudges of memory, like warm hugs. Grab yourself a quaffled mug of steaming substance. Let it radiate your insides. Let it fill you. Osmosize this light, this spectrum of bright neon pastels. Your primary purpose is to survive. You're doing fine. Better than. You ignite. Those sparks, they're coming from you. Those embers behind, too. Yeah. The ones that you've left behind for others, lighting the way. You trailblaze hope. I can see it in your eyes. Hear it in the cracks of saliva when you smile. You feel it too, right? So, rest a while. This was always part of the plan. For your 2 feet to be ready, primed. For you to take your stand. I'll see you at sunrise.
So I worked solidly before the pandemic for 3 years, and I was like, yeah, I'm on a roll, blah, blah, blah. And then everything just stopped, and then everything hit me, and I realized that I really needed a break. And I was brilliant for about a week. And then everything was like, oh my dear Lord, I miss people, I miss faces, I miss eyes, I miss smiles. And I think that a lot of us are grieving right now. And a lot of us might not know our places right now because we have been worker bees. And that is how we are trained to be. That is how we are educated. So now we've got a little bit of space to look inwards and to figure out what we want and what makes us happy. So I invite you to take a pause with my poetry. I've been having much more candid conversations with my parents, and there's something really positive that's come out of lockdown. I've been really trying to show them my truth. I came out as queer to them, I came out as non-binary to them. They didn't really get it, they kind of ignored it, but it's a step, you know. If it didn't happen, they wouldn't know. I wouldn't have told them. There's a really good chance coming from the Midlands, especially in terms of the pandemic, in terms of COVID-19, they would get it. And then there is a really large chance of them not being here anymore. And so I was like, do I want them to think I'm somebody I'm not? And I thought, well, it's really important to at least try. And they always surprise you. My mum still asks me if I'm getting married and having children. And I'm like, don't worry, don't worry about that, mum. Distraction. But I think that identity was always important, even if I didn't consciously realise it was important to me. I think that other people place identity on you before you have time to realise your own. They has been used as a singular since the beginning of time. We use it all the time when we don't know what gender identity our doctor is, what, gender identity a dog is. I want gender to become boring. I don't want it to be a buzzword. It's just a thing. It's another part of people. It's really dull, actually, and it doesn't encompass the entire identity of a human being. There are a very small percentage of people with all of the pie, And the rest of us marginalised, us minorities, all of these lovely buzzwords of diversity and inclusion are scrabbling over crumbs, when actually we're not the ones we should be fighting with. We should be coming together, because then we'll realise in numbers we outweigh them.
Cool. Yeah,
yeah, looks so cool. Yes, Mel.
I look like I know what I'm doing. Oh, it's going.
Wow.
This is what I was saying the other day. Like, if the hoop is looking beautiful, you just have to hold it and it looks good. You don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, these are magic.
We've just been placed into Tier 4 the night before our event. We've literally just finished de-rigging the space where all of the equipment usually is, ready for tomorrow. Some of the group have got some really tough decisions to make in the next couple of hours as to whether they can be with us or travel home to see their families. It's a tough, tough call. We just have to let everybody make the right decision for themselves. We don't know how many of us are going to be there tomorrow. We've got a night full of new risk assessments to plan and write, but fingers crossed, the universe will provide. We've come this far. Let's get this done.
Welcome to my art space. This is 101 Outdoor Arts creation, my first aerial home that I managed to play in. And this is where the American Army used to have their aeroplanes way back before the women's peace camp was here. We had the Greenham Girls and they protested when this was a military base. And 10 years after they won and got rid of the US Army, they stayed here. They continued to camp because they didn't trust that it was going to go to the arts. And as you can see, even in a pandemic, we're making sure the arts is still living on here. So yeah, it really does feel great, doesn't it? We're still doing it and we're still meeting. Yes. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make any new real connections this year.
You know, I'm already envisioning all the possibilities.
This is my room. Let me check. I feel like so happy to meet already everyone. Mel is so sweet. She's really sweet. Everyone is so beautiful. So I'm feeling very, very privileged to be here. I'm very excited.
We have arrived at 101 and we are going to do some hoop action. It's all very exciting. I tell you what, it's bloody lovely. The sky right now. Sun's just setting. There's some other cabins over there. Yeah, this is where we are for the next 24 hours. Oh, it's nice to be doing some work. It's nice to be making art. Can't wait.
Oh my gosh, it's just so awesome to play, to see it in the dark, bit of space outside my front rooms. It is amazing. Seeing people, playing with people, seeing real art just happening, it's just awesome.
Well, 2020 has been a massive challenge, from building a career for, over a decade of living and breathing performance art, from putting on shows to performing just for myself, and also, you know, building this wonderful entertainment agency with all these incredible performers that have the same passion that I do, to suddenly, it's gone. The shock of it was like something I've never experienced before.
When stay-at-home measures were introduced, the effect on arts, culture and entertainment industries across the world was instant and devastating.
I think I took it for granted, in a way, just how important performance art is to all of us, and it's important for the audiences as well, and we are lacking massively this year. It's been a huge shock. Oh, gosh, it was just insane. Like, every agent, every performer I've ever known in my industry was going crazy on social media. Help, what do I do? How can we survive this? This is, you know, suddenly every one of my clients was saying, what about cancellation? But what I did see was like this band of performers and agents sort of come together, advising each other on like, hey, I'm finding this out, or I've spoken with this person. So really giving each other advice, because it was really scary. I think anybody that would say they haven't paused and haven't reevaluated and looked at their life, especially if you're an artist, would probably be lying. I definitely had moments of doubting, like, have I just wasted my whole working life? But no, I haven't. I know I haven't. It builds morale. It, you know, stops depression. It helps people just reconnect with that magic in life again. When you're seeing something visual, you're hearing music that just is incredible, and I'm so grateful. And this really isn't the end of performance art. We're not going to see the end of it.
So wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming to our light show. We're here, ready to entertain you. We're going to start with Harley Fox from the amazing international company, The Urban Fox, and they are going to open up our show with something really good to celebrate. Are we ready to go, Miss Harley Fox?
Anything that has come out of this year is the proof that there are some things that can blindside you. So my hope is to, when we finish this, walk out this room and interact with whatever is there, and to live in the moment. We can't predict, you know, we can't figure it out. We can just be in the moment and listen to our gut.
This has helped me in terms of being able to close the year on an up. Being able to create work in an environment that is firstly not online, and also create new connection, new friendships in a diverse and open, accepting community.
I hope that we actually can have events again. We can have parties, we can have weddings, we can have funerals, we can have festivals, and life can get back to normal, but also not forgetting about everything that's happened this year, and yeah, what's actually important.
Nobody really knows what to expect from this point on, but I'm just staying close to the people that love me and just taking it day by day.
I think for me it's really, really, really important to take this marvelous thing that we have, which is art, to others. So whatever happens this year, it helped me to understand that whatever happens, we need to go further. We need to push further and be flexible and try plan B, plan C, plan D, and really try to keep creating. Hope is, is contagious. If you give hope, you receive hope. It's a cycle, it keeps going.
My hopes now for 2021 going forwards is to just continue with the arts, to not be as afraid as I was in 2020. Obviously be safe and not take any risks with the pandemic and COVID, but not be as afraid as I had been as a result of the Black Lives Matter and Brexit, and to find a way to just keep living the best life I can live. We're not going to be beaten. We have to stand up, we have to re-educate ourselves, and we have to show that we're not angry, aggressive beings. We are happy, positive people, and we deserve to share that. We're going to share that and be the performers that we were all born to be.